So airdrops have brought some immediate assistance to the thousands of Yezidi people trapped by fighting on an Iraqi mountainside, but President Obama warned today there was no quick fix, adding this is going to take some time. The president said he'd already talked to Western allies about creating a safe corridor to protect the Yezidis from the jihadi fighters they've fled. But one of them told us they've been attacked within the last hour. Our only water supply is now gone, he says. Darshana Stoney has the latest.
They have spent days pleading for help, scrambling for the little food and water being delivered by this Kurdish charity. One young boy clings to the helicopter. Of the thousands of people here, only 20 could be airlifted out. The Yazidis, a religious minority, fled here for their lives after being threatened by Islamic militants. But now they are stranded on this barren mountain without shelter or supplies. We spoke to one man who has been here for a week and told us of the horrors he has faced.
Half an hour ago we were attacked by ISIS forces, but we resisted them and they left. They cut off the only source of water on the mountain, so we don't have water now, only bread, and the bread will be gone by morning.
And still more people are arriving here every day. 3 further Yazidi villages at the foot of the mountain have been told if they don't convert to Islam by tomorrow, they will be executed. These are the militants threatening the Yazidi. We are coming for you, he proclaims. The Islamic State fighters released this video today, showing their capture of Iraq's biggest dam north of Mosul. They're now bringing in their own engineers to make repairs. 2 months after the militants' surprise advance on Iraq, America has responded. Targeted airstrikes against militant convoys travelling towards Erbil, the capital of Iraq's Kurdish region. But no boots on the ground, President Obama has assured war-weary Americans. Will the airstrikes make much difference, though? We spoke to one Kurdish Peshmerga soldier.
The American intervention did not change the situation on the ground at all. We were hoping that the American forces would strike ISIS with a few blows, but that did not materialize. The intervention is very weak and not worth mentioning.
In Erbil, hundreds of Christian refugees are taking shelter. Britain has, for now, ruled out military intervention. Instead, the government will focus on delivering £8 million worth of aid. 2 cargo planes left RAF Brize Norton this morning, loaded with supplies including tents, mobile phone chargers and ration packs.
Well, since we've been on air, news that Barack Obama and David Cameron have been discussing this crisis. Darshana Stoney is in Downing Street. She joins us live now, where the Defence Secretary's also been holding a meeting of the Emergency Cobra Committee. Darshana.
Well, it was left to Philip Hammond to chair that meeting because, as you mentioned, David Cameron has actually been away on holiday as these events have been unfolding. We're told that military intervention wasn't discussed, although the government is providing what's described as technical assistance to the American airstrikes. The government, of course, will be wary about winning political support for intervention, especially after last year's events around the vote on intervention in Syria. And so for now, the government, we're told, is concentrating on humanitarian aid to Iraq.
Our focus is on the humanitarian crisis that's evolving. We're waiting, all of us are waiting for a new Iraqi government to be formed, which will then have to take the lead in responding to the challenge that ISIS is posing to the integrity of the Iraqi state.
Philip Hammond did acknowledge there that airdrops aren't a long-term solution and that diplomatic efforts will be continuing to help the Iraqis themselves find a long-term solution, something, as you said, David Cameron has been discussing this evening, we're told, with Barack Obama.
Thanks very much, Darshana Stoney there at Downing Street. But for more on what President Obama's been saying, live now to our Washington correspondent, Kylie Morris. Kylie.
Well, Alex, Barack Obama has also mentioned that conversation that he's had with David Cameron and with Francois Hollande, saying that he has been talking about the humanitarian assistance needed by the Yazidis on that mountaintop. Of course, he has built a very successful case, I think, in the court of public opinion here, at least as far as humanitarian assistance goes. There seems to be generally widespread support for the idea that America should get involved in doing that. However, the broader notion of strategic strikes to protect the city of Erbil hasn't been as broadly welcomed. Now, President Obama was pushed on the idea of how long America will be involved in striking strategically at ISIS on the ground, and this is what he had to say.
I don't think we're going to solve this problem in weeks, if that's what you mean. I think this is going to take some time. The Iraqi security forces, in order to mount an offensive and be able to operate effectively with the support of populations in Sunni areas, are going to have to revamp, get resupplied, have a clear strategy. That's all going to be dependent on a government that the Iraqi people and the Iraqi military have confidence in.
So the political process in Iraq is something that President Obama keeps revisiting. He keeps saying, look, America is prepared to become involved in a very small way, in a very targeted way, in a very strategic way, sending in these airstrikes from the USS George H.W. Bush. But they're not prepared to go any further than that until they see some sign that the Iraqi government is able to move ahead and at least able to support the Iraqi army so that the Iraqi army can rearm and reorganize and offer better resistance to ISIS than it does currently.